If you're looking to play any kind of lead guitar, I'm going to take you on a journey through what I consider to be the 4 levels of understanding what and where to play. This isn't about techniques or speed. That's a different level up meter. This is about how much you know about which notes you can use when soloing. And welcome to Music with Marky. So the first scale that most of us learn is the pentatonic minor, and there's a good reason for this. It's made up of all the safe notes. What do I mean by that? Well, if you're using the scale over a piece of music, it doesn't matter which note you land on and hold, it will sound fine, like inside, if you will. Now, if you don't know what the pentatonic minor scale is, it looks like this. And the first note you started with here, this one, is the first note of the minor key you were playing in. So here we started on the 5th fret, which is an A, so it's A minor, and we can use the scale over music in A minor, like A, C, D chords like so. Real simple like that. Everything fits, easy peasy. You can even become a very advanced technical player, but still only use this level 1 scale. Let's do that with a backing track. So what is level 2? Well, that's when you go from using the 5-note scale to the full 7-note scale. You see, this pentatonic minor scale isn't really something that stands on its own so much as it is just the regular minor scale with a couple of notes that you skipped. Let's look at what those notes are. We started here on the 5th fret with the A and went right to a C on the 8th fret. Well, in the full minor scale, it goes A, B, C. So that's a new note that you'll introduce. Then you went from D to E, which is still the same, and skipped over to G, which would be the 7th in the scale. And you skipped from the 5th to the 7th. Here you're going to put the 6th in, which is this note over here, the F. So now you have... And then if you continue up through the scale, in the pentatonic we went right to a C, but we have to add that B note back in, which we can grab over here. So we have the B, C, D, then we have the E. Now we're going to add that 6th, the F back in, G, and then A, B, C. So all together... That's your full minor scale. And if we use the whole scale in an example, it gives us a bit more range for emotion, even over the same backing music. Now, before I move on to level 3 here, I do want to mention that there's a level 2.5, which is a huge lesson in and of itself, but it doesn't quite fit the progression we're talking about here. It's actually the core of my playing and how you get to play everywhere around the neck with confidence. But I don't want to send you off on a long tangent, so I'll come back to this and give you a link to that journey at the end of this video if you want to do it. All right, let's level up again. You have the full scale down, so what's left but to figure out how to use notes not from the scale and make them sound cool. Basically, you have all these notes in between to play with now. We never hit this note here. You never hit this note here. You never hit this F sharp, which you can get here. And you never hit this note here. So all these in between spots. They call it chromatic if you use all of them, but we're going to learn how to use them and pick ones out that sound cool for our use. Making this kind of thing work is all about hitting these out notes with a confidence and finding what is unique about their sound within the context. I'm going to pick 2 of those out notes to work with here and show you what I mean. We're going to work with what's called the diminished 5th. It's this note here, the octave of it up there, and the major 6th, the F sharp. Let's try it over the background music and see how it sounds. All right, now you level 3 solo people are cooking with all the ingredients. But what's left? What makes level 4? This is where things get really tough and make my brain turn to mush.
All right.
Level 4 soloing is all about the background music, actually. You see, right now, we've been doing everything over chords that are all in the same key. But what happens when the changes are not that simple?
Now you have chance.
You can't just ignore the background music and jam around your scales anymore. You have to know what is being played behind you and when it's being played. It's difficult, but it's really rewarding because you can create much more emotionally complex pieces to play over. Let's take our previous backing track and adjust it just a little bit to be more interesting. In the backing track you've been listening to up till now, the chord progression is a basic A minor to a C major, second time I play C major 7, and then a D minor chord. Now what we're going to do is, before the D minor chord, we're going to insert an E flat major 7. So it'll go A minor to C major, E flat major 7, and then the D minor. And then we're going to have to play over that. So when I'm doing my lead, I have to pay attention to when that E flat major 7 chord happens and pick notes that are suitable to fit with it. Usually that will be made simply by taking one of the 4 notes in the chord. We have the E flat here, B flat. There's a D which crosses over with the other key. And then this note over here, the G, which also crosses over. So we have some opportunities to not really change the scale. And also I can hit the octave of that E flat and really accentuate the change. The challenge here is to do all this and still be open to playing expressively and be into the music instead of being so mired in logical thinking that your solo starts to sound robotic. Let's give it a try. Alright, there's your 4 levels, and as promised, I want to mention again that level 2.5, which maybe some of you might consider more like a level 5 really, and that is understanding the modes. This of course is a whole lesson series on its own, and I'm going to link it here. In short, however, the most simple way to look at the modes is that they give you the ability to play in any key all over the fretboard instead of just being locked into one spot like we've been using here. So check that lesson series out, and if you have any questions or comments about this one, leave them below. I get back to everyone as soon as I can, and until next time guys, keep making great music.
Hey friends, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. It makes the whole world better.